Welcome to the last episode of Season 3 of Tech Tuesday. This has been an incredible season of 17 episodes. My first 2 seasons only had 10 episodes, so I'm thrilled to have produced more videos this year that I hope have helped you implement technology into your classrooms. For my last episode this season, I wanted to do something special that involved all of you. As teachers, it's important that we reflect on our school year and our practice as educators. However, as we all know, finding time to do this can be difficult. That's why in this episode, I wanted to reflect back on the year and hear from you about your favorite technology projects. It's a great way to end the season, and perhaps one of these ideas will inspire you over the summer break. So here are educators from the secondary campus talking about their favorite technology projects from the year.
Okay, so for SOL review this year, I didn't want to just do packet after packet and bore my students and have them be bored. So I decided to use technology in a different way this year. I had them broken up into groups, gave them each a skill that we had learned throughout the year, and they were to make a picto chart where they would reteach the skill and kind of give notes to the other students in the class and come up with an activity that the students could do after viewing the picto chart. Then we went to the library where they put their laptops on tables and they did a gallery walk, went to each station, read the picto chart, looked at the graphics, kind of reviewed, and then completed the activity. The next day, we went back to the classroom. I projected each picto chart on the smartboard. The group came up and did a whole class presentation and then went over their activity. So hopefully they found it as beneficial and fun as I did, and hopefully you can get something out of it too.
Okay, so I got this idea actually from another teacher, but it is a hyperdoc, and I just adapted it to do different topics. So there's 2 sheets that you work with: the working document that the links and everything are on, and then the answer key. So they kind of have to have both things open. You go through the hyperdoc. There's a watch, explore, and listen section. The watch is like links to YouTube videos or brain pop videos or something like that. So they watch the videos, they go back to their answer sheet, answer their questions from the video. And then they go to the listen section, kind of the same thing, but we try to find like an article with maybe a speaker or someone that's saying something, not so much a video, but something that they have to listen to. Same thing, they answer questions on the answer document. And the last is explore. We provide a link to a credible, accurate website that they can learn from. And again, they go through, they answer the questions. So it's great to do with my students because notes and just getting out information can be very monotonous. I mean, there's a million different ways to do it, but sometimes it's notes. So that gives them their own pace. They can do any section in any order that they choose. And of course they love to watch videos and surf the web. So anything they feel like they're doing it on their own, but really we're like guiding them, and it gets the information to them. So I think it's a great resource to use, and I definitely plan on using it more often as much as I can.
So last year for the English 12th Finland's Literature class, students read Sherlock Holmes stories and stories from the Knights of the Round Table, and then they did their own adaptation of those stories through film. And one group did a Sherlock Holmes story and did a pretty good job of it. And we used different editing software like WeVideo. We used the camera from the TV production class. They were kind enough to let us borrow that, and they just had at it, and they did a really good job.
This year in Art 1, I tried incorporating technology into one of my units. So the unit that I incorporated technology in was a fashion design unit. So students had previously created fashion design apparel from like backpacks to shoes to clothing, and they were learning about the elements of pattern and texture. And I wanted to step it up a game, so I had technology involved, and Miss Priester, she came into the class one day, and she told the students about Google Sites. So she informed them about Google Sites, about the apps that it had, and she went through the process of how they could create their own websites to display their fashion design apparel. And then she spent the whole class period with them, walking around, helping them out so they could set up the whole thing, and they learned about having a home page, they learned about creating tabs. So they were required to have a home page, a page for their artist statement, a page for their bio that they could create and make up if they wanted to. And they needed to have sub-pages for their apparel. And when they click on the apparel, it opens up into kind of like the blow-up image of just the photograph. And then they also needed to, for each apparel, type up kind of a description about what the apparel was.
Thank you so much to everyone who shared your projects. I loved hearing about these ideas and am looking forward to what our next school year will bring. I'm also so very grateful to have worked with so many of you over this past year. There have been some great projects from Ms. Jernigan and Mrs. Wu's 6th grade science classes, creating weather videos, to Mr. Gamble's marketing and advertising classes, creating TV and radio commercials, working with Mrs. Carly and on digital scrapbooks and history classes, to creating interactive models of ionic bonding and Google Drawings in Miss Hall's 8th grade physical science classes, along with so many others. Thank you for inviting me into your classrooms. Summer break will be here before we know it, and I know many of you, after a little time off, will be thinking about what to change up in your classrooms next year. The last couple of years, I've used this Google Doc from Catlin Tucker called Things to Revamp for Next Year. This doc helps you reflect on the past school year, breaking down different aspects such as classroom routines, lesson ideas, and specific skills you want to emphasize and how you want to revamp it. It's a great resource no matter how many years you've been teaching. I'll have a link to the doc down below. Summer can also be a good time to catch up on some professional development opportunities, and there are several free online options this summer. Please remember, in order for something to count as PD points in the state of Virginia, it must be 5 or more hours. I believe all of these opportunities fall under this requirement, but as these are outside our district, you are responsible for making sure you provide proof of the time requirements. You will also be responsible for uploading any documentation and adding it to TeachPoint. If you need a refresher on how to add PD to TeachPoint, check out this video. First up is the ISTE conference. That is the International Society for Technology in Education conference. It is the biggest EdTech conference and is held annually in June. I mention this conference because while it is a great conference and I was able to attend in 2013, it can be a bit expensive, but there's always Twitter to the rescue. The hashtags not at ISTE or not at ISTE 19 are available to those of us that can't go and still feel like we're getting some of the experience. I encourage you to check it out during the conference that is held from June 23rd to the 26th. Participants in attendance will be sharing their thoughts and found resources, while some presenters will share out links to their presentations. You can also follow the ISTE 19 hashtag for more ideas. The Strobel Summit is hosted by Kim Strobel, an educator and consultant. This summit is offered from July 7th through July 26th and is similar to the Hive and Ditch summits that I've promoted this past year. She'll have different education leaders present in 7 sessions on different topics with a new video being released each day. To register, visit strobeleducation.com. The Teach with Tech conference is like a face-to-face conference only online. Running from July 22nd to July 24th, they will have 20-minute breakout sessions with over 60 speakers. What's different about this conference is that there is a free and paid option. Participants with a free ticket will be emailed a link to that day's YouTube video playlist. If you can't watch a session during its scheduled time, you will be emailed a link to the replays, which will be available until July 29th. However, with the paid option of $10.95, you will have access to all of the videos for an entire year. You can register at teachwithtechconference.com. Next up, Ditch That Textbook is joining forces with CUE, an education nonprofit in California and Nevada. CUE hosts one of the largest educational technology conferences in the country in the spring, as well as many other events. They will be offering a week's worth of online sessions from July 29th through August 4th, focusing on teacher health and wellness before the start of the next school year. At this time, there is not a place to register, so keep your eyes peeled on Twitter and check out @CUE or the hashtags WeAreCUE or DitchBook. Finally, the Hive Summit will be back from August 1st through the 14th. This was very popular in MPCS last year, and I'm looking forward to it again, as I know many of you are as well. This year's summit features 9 speakers and will drop with new videos every day. You can register at hivesummit.org. And don't forget that on August 1st and 2nd, we will be having our very own Digicamp. This is our 2-day summer camp for teachers where you can learn about all things innovative and technological. There will be 8 breakout sessions, games, food, and t-shirts. I'll be running 2 sessions, Get Hooked on Hyperdocs and Remaining Aloft in the Twitterverse for advanced Twitter users. This is a completely free event to MPCS teachers. Register at bit.ly/MPCS Digicamp. It's also not too late to sign up to present. If you're interested, see the link below to send in a proposal. One last reminder about getting PD points for watching Tech Tuesday. If you watch the last 5 episodes from this season, that's episodes 13 through 17, and come up with a lesson plan from one of these episodes, you'll get 5 PD points. Here's what you need to do to make sure you get your points. First, submit the form in the description area below telling me what you learned in each episode and add the file with your lesson plan. Number 2, register for the PD session called Tech Tuesday PD Series and Teach Point. You must do both steps in order to get your points. The form will be available until June 14th, 2019. Once again, thank you for watching. I hope you have a happy and safe summer, and I'll be back in the fall with new episodes for Season 4.